What's up? Lazy ass loser here. And today, I want to tell you what will happen if you surround yourself with the beta male little fuckers. Okay? They're very manipulative. In fact, I know a guy right now, and he, little fucker was jealous of me, so I give him some credit. He managed to weasel his way into this girl's life. It was a girl that I was simply hitting on, and it seemed like we were having a good kind of like flirtatious fun with each other at one point. And then why I was hanging around this dude, I'll explain later. But I was over at his house, and he was jealous because he saw me having a good time with a couple of girls, and he couldn't handle that. These little beta fuckers, what they do, they hate seeing you have a good time. They can't flirt with girls. They don't know how to just be in the present moment and just be up front and tease and flirt and just be attractive to the girls. And so what they'll do is they'll try to one-up you, and all of a sudden he started saying this sexual shit, which later I found out why. Later on that night, he decided to one-up me. He wanted to get with this girl. He hated this girl. And he wanted to fuck her. So he took her into his room that night, because this was at his house, and I didn't have a place to go to live, and this girl was temporarily staying with his roommate. So the next day, he's like, see, he started having this friendly, taking this, I'm gonna be your friend, and hopefully you will let me like have sex with you, was his whole idea. So he thought he could go into his room with her. So he saw me flirting and having a good time, and then he started doing this whole conversation thing where he's trying to be her friend to get in her fucking pants, if that makes sense. We've all seen these little predator fuckers. And so he takes her in there, and he says and you know, at the time I was like, you know, this little dweeb, he's just gonna do his fucking thing, and he'll screw up, and then I'll just finish talking with the girl. But you know what? That was where I fucked up too at the time, because I should have just like dominated the conversation. But like I said, I didn't have no place to go or anything, so I was just like, I figured I'd just let him just screw up, and then I'd, you know, jump back in whenever I was ready. So anyway, like I said, he hated this girl, but he saw me having a good time, and he wanted to interject, because they hate it when you're having a good time with a girl. See what I'm saying? So he tried the friend's approach, takes her into the room, and then the next day he's like, yeah, we talked for about 5 hours last night. And he was like, I use sexual techniques, and see, you got to bring up, and he framed it like as if he were giving me advice, like, yeah, you got to use sexual techniques, like start talking about sex in order to put the idea into her mind, these techniques to get her to think about it, get her thinking about it. He's like, once I'm inside of her mind, then he says, once I'm inside of her mind, then she will, then I'll be able to get inside of her head. And that was his technique. 2 fucking days later, like, this went on. Like, he hated her, and then he wanted to just fuck her, and it was to one-up me, and I was being patient with it. I literally thought I would just laugh this away, and then, but he did not succeed. Like, a lot of people would think that he would succeed at that. Instead, 2 days later, he became suddenly infatuated with her, right? He became infatuated with her and was talking about marriage and shit. Like all of a sudden, the energy flipped, and he became a little puddle of pussiness, which he already was. But there's a lesson here. So it turned into what they call love addiction. Love addiction. Look it up. So then he convinced the girl to be her roommate, to be his roommate. The very girl he hated, and they were about to move. She just came to stay there temporarily with his roommate, which was her friend. And the lesson of the story is, some of these dudes are so weak that they may instantly become infatuated and obsessed with the girl. So you can't let them interject at all. Like, you might assume that they will just fuck up really quickly, but they won't. So he didn't. He suddenly just like became, so he was already on drugs, so this was like a new drug that compounded upon the drugs that he was already, taking. So it was just extra drugs, this love addiction. And in her mind, obviously, it seems that she just takes it as, well, he's just a good guy, just trying to be a friend, just trying to be my friend. When in actuality, it was bad intentions from the start. And then he goes on to make me out to be a bad person. And I ain't gonna lie, I got fucking pissed at this shit because I was fucking mad. But here's what's gonna happen. Dude is gonna, if he doesn't get my help, he's gonna fucking, it's gonna get really bad for him. And there's things that I know he doesn't know that I know. And it's a ticking time bomb. It's gonna blow up in his face. But anyways, you can't hang out with these dudes. Don't even hang out with them. Hang around masculine guys. Don't hang out with these emasculated, like feminine, like hipster types. I mean, there may be some masculine hipster types, but not these little beta males. Because that interjection fucked up my game. And he did succeed in framing me as like, convinced the girl that you know what I'm saying? So but he's so far deep in the friend zone now. He's went out and bought her stuff, bought her massages, got her pedicure, done all these like beautiful, wonderful things for her. And if she's gullible enough to give the dude a shot, then I fucking dodged a bullet on that. Fuck, after that shit happened, I went out. I was pissed, man, because I kind of liked it. I actually was interested in the girl. I wasn't even infatuated with her like that. Like him. The way I saw it was, hey, I'm an adult man. This gal's pretty cool. I'd love to get to know her and see what she's like. And I wasn't sure what. And then so, and I'd also hung out with this dude for a while. Maybe I'll explain in another video why. But that's another thing. If you hang around them, you can't hang out with them. You can't become friends with them. It's like it'll start to affect your own behavior if you hang around these guys in extended periods of time. It will influence your own behavior. Even if you think in your mind that, oh, it won't influence my behavior, it will. You'll notice that you'll start to become indecisive, more passive. So that's why you can't do it. And I'll explain in another video why you can't do that shit. Talk to you later, lazy ass loser. Out of here.